Season 2, Episode 9, Sweet and Elite. Full disclosure, I hated this episode when I was younger, and not just because Rarity is the lead. I hated it so much that I wasn't able to sit through it in one sitting, but I'll get to why soon. I'm Count Lurchlot, and this is Lukewarm Television. Anyway, the episode revolves around Rarity coming to Canterlot for a visit to pick up fabric for her shop, and upon a request from Twilight, Princess Celestia allows her to stay in a suite at the castle. And much to the princess's discomfort, Rarity is a little too thankful. She should be giving thanks to the poor guy carrying her bags. Later on, Rarity wants to thank Twilight for getting her a room at the castle, and so Rarity decides to make her a fancy dress in celebration of her upcoming birthday. She's then approached by a posh couple who wish to know where Rarity got her hat. But before she can answer, she is recognized by a country pony named Hayseed Turnip Truck, who met her at a hoedown in Ponyville. Also, fun fact about this pony, he's later revealed to be a relative of Applejack's. Now knowing she's from Ponyville, the posh couple rudely insult her by calling her a country pony. Just so everyone knows, I'm from a small country town and proud of it. Now determined to prove herself a sophisticated pony, Rarity designs an extremely posh dress for Twilight that she thinks will show every pony something truly worthy of Canterlot. It might be because I have no taste in fashion, but I don't know anyone who would want to wear that. While returning to her suite with the supplies she needs, Rarity crashes into the poshest Canterlot pony of all, a stallion by the name of Fancy Pants, who ironically doesn't wear pants. Anyway, after hearing that she's staying at the castle and she knows the princess, Fancy Pants feels she's a pony worth running into and invites her to the Wonderbolts Derby, where he has a VIP box reserved. From here, Rarity faces the dilemma of going to the Derby or working on Twilight's dress. In one of her less generous moments, she chooses to go to the Derby as it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and it could mean big things for her. She arrives at the Derby and is welcomed by Fancy Pants, much to the shock of the rude posh ponies from before, and joins Fancy's companions to watch the Derby. Unfortunately, she makes a bad first impression upon disagreeing with Fancy Pants over who will win the Derby. When Rarity is proven right, they question how she knew this would happen, and she shows her knowledge of the Wonderbolts, courtesy of Rainbow Dash. The other ponies ask who Rainbow Dash is, and it's at this moment this episode becomes difficult for me to watch. Wanting to save face, Rarity lies and says that Rainbow Dash is the Wonderbolts trainer. What's wrong with saying that Rainbow Dash is a big fan of the Bolts and knows a lot about them? Anyway, from here, I knew exactly what this episode would involve. Rarity lying to all the posh ponies to help her fit in better. It's here that I stopped this episode back when I was a teenager, so I'm stopping this review now. Relax, I'm just kidding. Let's keep watching. But this is still one of my least favorite episodes. Anyway, this just impresses Fancy Pants and his companions further, and Fancy Pants calls her his new favorite party guest, which again causes shock for the rude couple. From here, we get a montage of Rarity being invited to events by the posh ponies and ignoring her responsibilities in making Twilight's dress, even though she says it's her top priority. From here, we get a solo song from Rarity where she expresses how she'll be the pony every pony should know. Very vain, Rarity. Like I said though, this song basically involves Rarity lying a lot because she makes herself up to be more posh and well off than she actually is, which makes all the other posh ponies agree with her opinion. Thank God Rarity isn't the element of honesty because I don't think she could use it. What I find most interesting about this song is that she's seen with Prince Blueblood again. Guess he's gotten over what she did at the gala last season. Not that he didn't deserve it, am I right? The song ends with Rarity coming home exhausted from another event, and despite her cat trying to remind her about the dress, Rarity is only able to do one small thing before crashing. The next day, Rarity is about to head back to Ponyville and finish Twilight's dress. Unfortunately, then Rarity receives an invitation to something known as the Canterlot Garden Party, which according to Rarity is the second biggest party of the year after the gala. Funnily enough, the invite was sent by the rude ponies. Rarity must once again choose between Twilight's birthday and the party, and you guessed it, she chooses the party because she fears it's just too important. She sends a letter to Twilight saying she can't make it, but of course, she lies again and says the reason is because her cat is sick and she has to stay in Canterlot. At least the poor guy who has to carry her bags is happy he doesn't have to carry them downstairs. Later on, Rarity is dressed up and ready to leave for the party, but then is shocked to find her friends waiting at the door. She's so shocked, she faints. Turns out they are there because upon hearing she was stuck in Canterlot, Twilight asked Pinkie, the party planner, if it was okay to move the party to Canterlot. Thankfully this is easy because balloons are super easy to pack. However, then Rainbow Dash asks why Rarity is dressed up all fancy, to which Rarity says it's because it cheers up Opal while she's sick. This leads to Fluttershy wanting to see the poor sick cat, and then Rarity does the meanest thing possible, and they wonder why that cat is always angry. Poor Fluttershy makes it worse. Twilight then sees her dress, and Rarity initially fears she doesn't like it. as Twilight describes it as simple and practical, but then it's revealed Twilight loves it because it's so her. Rarity is very thankful for this, who then throws the original design in the trash. And because of Twilight's connections with the princess, they get to have the party in the Canterlot Ballroom. They were able to set this up so quickly because Pinkie never leaves home without her party cannon, which can instantly set up parties. I think we all wish we could have one of these. It's also then revealed that the garden party is happening right outside at the same time. This forces Rarity to stay out of sight so the posh ponies don't see her. You're not looking good this episode! The main characters then proceed to party and they have a great time. However, Rarity then decides to sneak off to make an appearance at the garden party. This then leads to what I will admit is a pretty funny montage of Rarity splitting her time between both parties. This is probably my favourite part of the episode because it's absolutely hilarious seeing her constantly change what she's doing and her becoming progressively exhausted from running back and forth. Unfortunately, she makes the mistake of taking a croquet mallet back to Twilight's party, which blows her cover. This leads to Twilight asking if Rarity was at the other party in the garden. Thankfully, Twilight isn't mad, however, as she just assumes Rarity was being a savvy business pony and was hoping to convince some of the posh ponies to buy her dresses. Rarity lies again by saying yes and that she didn't want to be rude, which is why she didn't say anything. Twilight then suggests Rarity continue mingling with the posh ponies, but then the absolute worst thing happens. The others decide to go mingle with her. The scene that follows is really hard to watch, so much so that I still have difficulty sitting through it. Long story short, they act exactly how you'd expect them to. I cannot get through this scene in one sitting, excuse me. Okay, everything comes to a halt, however, when Fancy Pants asks Twilight where she got her dress from. Rarity tries to interrupt this, but Fancy Pants really wants to know where Twilight got her dress. Despite Rarity's attempts to hide the truth, Twilight reveals that it was in fact Rarity who made the dress. Despite the embarrassment she feels, Rarity finally confesses the truth. She admits that while they aren't sophisticated like the Canterlot ponies, they are her best friends and the most important ponies she knows. Those posh ponies from the start proceed to insult them. Don't think they'd say that if they knew Twilight was the princess's top student, but to every pony's surprise, Fancy Pants finds them charmingly rustic and also thinks the dress is lovely. He even asks Rarity to introduce him to the main six. Fancy Pants is actually pretty cool. Rarity then finishes the episode by giving her lesson, which she gets to tell in person. She learnt that no matter where you go in life, you should never forget that you are the product of your home and your friends, which is something to be proud of. As someone who was proudly raised in the countryside, I approve. I know I usually give an outro, but I don't want to talk about this episode anymore. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you at the next review.